What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, and we have breaking news here on the podcast. TJ Finley, former LSU quarterback, inserted his name in the transfer portal a few weeks ago, has officially announced he's staying in the SEC. He's taken his talents to Auburn University with new head coach Brian Harsin, and Finley is absolutely positive. He said every school in his Final Four came down to Alabama, Penn State, Houston, and Auburn here. Said that every school that recruited him said he was going to have a shot at the QB1 position. So is it a QB competition now in Auburn is the question. So comment below while you're here. We're going to be on here for about 10 minutes or so, just kind of breaking down all this news. So let me know what y'all think about the decision to head to Auburn, and two, do you think TJ Finley can get out there and take this starting job from Bo Nix? But man, this was kind of foreseen down the stretch. There was a lot of reports last night that it was really Auburn's spot to lose as his number one school. I mean, when you look at his decision, the main thing was to start immediately. And so I think he probably might have had a chance at Penn State. He will have a chance at Auburn. He probably would have had a chance at Houston. Bama, I really didn't see how he was going to take the starting job at Alabama. And then also he wanted to. He was very adamant about staying down south in the SEC, which really knocks out Houston because that's a Group of 5 school, and Penn State at the Big Ten. I mean, that's a competitive conference. That's a prestigious school, but Finley was very, very set based on everything I was reading, hearing, that to stay in the SEC, which really only left Auburn. When you look at his Final Four choices of schools, makes the most sense. It was the conference he wanted to stay in. He has the best shot to probably take the QB1 job headed into the season. He's going to get to campus. He's going to have a full summer to try to catch up to where Bo Nix got during spring practices. And odds are this is probably going to be something to watch as we head into fall, late summer camp down there on the plains. I mean, as an Auburn guy myself, I mean, this is a huge announcement. And I think Finley, okay, so there's two ways I look at this. One, Finley has just as much talent as Nix. He probably has a better overall arm in terms of pure arm strength. But the thing I need to see more is just a little bit more, I guess, pocket presence and just being able to step into games and playing consistently. As we saw huge jumps. We saw him absolutely dominate the South Carolina game, absolutely dominate the Arkansas game. But then when he came into Jordan-Hare, when he went up against Alabama, it was a totally different story. So the kid was very young last year. He needs some development. I'm going to be interested to see what Mike Bobo and Brian Harsin want to do with him in terms of scheme, in terms of fit. But, guys, I just got the video from the commitment. So let me play that for y'all now. This is TJ Finley committing to Auburn today.
Louisiana, you will always be my home. The opportunity to suit up for the purple and gold was a dream come true. LSU will always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you for the continued love and support. I will be continuing my athletic and academic career at Auburn.
War Eagle!
So that was TJ Finley announcing his commitment to Auburn. Posted that all across all his social media accounts. So big announcement here, but the biggest thing I want to know, one, was it just a recruiting pitch to kind of promise him a chance at the QB1 spot this year? Because really after Nix for Auburn, there really wasn't a real option. So you had Grant Loy, who was a grad transfer, really doesn't have much experience. I don't think anyone expects him to be a starting quarterback at Auburn. You had Shalil Garrett, who just transfers, so that took someone out of the QB room. You have freshman Demetrius Davis out of North Shore, but I don't think he's exactly ready to take on the starting role. And there's some questions about his fit in the Harsin system, whether that's true or not, that's to be seen. But I think TJ Finley, if he doesn't win the QB1 role, will put a little bit of pressure on Bo Nix. And that's what I'm hoping happens at minimum. I would love to see him come in here, win the starting job, kind of offer this like fresh breath of excitement and exhilaration into this program. But the main thing I want to see is, can he make Bo Nix maybe be a little bit better? Maybe fight for his job, because as soon as Joey Gatewood and Malik Willis transferred out, there was really no competition for. It was really Bo Nix was going to be the starter, and that was just how it was going to be. So I would love to see TJ Finley offer that little bit of pressure to kind of light a fire underneath Bo Nix in terms of just how hard he practices, how hard he plays, and I just want to see. I want Auburn to put the best quarterback on the field week one, and we're gonna win week one. We have like an FCS opponent. I mean, it's not like we're playing Penn State week one, but that next week, man, on the road at Penn State, I want the best quarterback on the field so they could go out and win that game. And we saw both these guys struggle on the road last year, but Bo Nix, it doesn't seem to click for him outside the confines of Jordan Hare. I mean, you break down his stats, look at the stats in Jordan Hare, look at the stats away from Jordan Hare, and it's like a completely different quarterback. And it almost doesn't make any sense how bad he is outside of Jordan Hare. And so if he can't improve on that, what does Auburn lose by putting TJ Finley in, who showed that he had a little bit of grit, that he could fight? For me, it gives Auburn two great options going into the summer months. It gives them two great options to fight for that QB1 role this coming fall. And so I'm very, very interested to see that. I think TJ Finley kind of got lost in the fray in terms of the LSU quarterback battle. But I don't like this narrative that he didn't want to compete or that he was scared to compete, because every single place that he was looking at going, he was going to have to fight for that QB1 role. Penn State has like two guys right now fighting for the QB1 role. Auburn has Nix, who isn't going to give it up easily. If you go to Alabama, good luck competing with Bryce Young. You might be competing for the QB2 spot at Alabama. I mean, they just got in that kid Jalen Milroe, who is an absolute stud. I think might be the best quarterback on that roster. Then you got Bryce Young to compete. And at Houston, they have a quarterback coming back from last year that isn't going to get that starting role up easily. TJ Finley would be by far the most improved option. But for me, I just think that it shows that it wasn't the competition that he was afraid of. He just felt like he didn't fit the scheme. He wasn't getting a fair shot. He wanted to go somewhere else to give himself a shot at winning a starting role. And I think when I look at his four choices, Auburn was the only one that made sense. It was the only one it was the only one that was one in the SEC, and two, I thought he would receive a fair shot to really win the QB1 role. I mean, no one in here watching this live stream right now, or that is always watching our show, thinks he was going to beat Bryce Young out for the QB1 role. Now, he probably could have won the job at Penn State, and definitely probably would have won at Houston. But those aren't in the SEC, especially Houston as a group of five. I'd be shocked if he went to Houston. So I really think it was a Penn State Auburn decision, and Auburn being in the SEC kind of was that factor for him to say, okay, I'm going to stay in the SEC and I'm going to go compete with Bo Nix for this Auburn QB1 job. And I mean, this is the second transfer that we've seen. So we covered Quincy Casey's transfer from Jackson State to Alabama A&M, and now we've seen TJ Finley go from LSU to Auburn. So I mean, both of these guys, the mental makeup there to say, I want to go play my old school every year. I want to be in their division, and I want to show them what they missed. I love that mindset. I love what TJ Finley's probably going to bring to the Auburn offense, and with the live arm, the athleticism, just, showing that he wasn't afraid to step into the role when he was called upon last year after Miles Brennan went down. He had some outstanding performances, and I really, really think with a little bit of development, TJ Finley could be a great quarterback for Auburn, and I really, really do think as someone who pays real close attention to Auburn football, you see it behind me. I really do think he's going to give Bo Nix a run for his money, and there's a real possibility TJ Finley could be the guy taking the opening snaps for the 2021 Auburn Tigers football team. So comment below, what do you guys think of the transfer to Auburn, and do you think TJ Finley can knock off Bo Nix as QB1? I'm very, very interested to see what Mike Bobo and Brian Harsin want to do with Finley. And you see this with new head coaches all the time. They don't have ties to Bo Nix. They didn't recruit Bo Nix. They didn't give him the starting job for the past 2 years. They want to go. I mean, Brian Harsin saw what Gus Malzahn just went through. He's winning 7, 8, 9 games a year, went to 2 SEC championships, won one of them, made a national championship appearance, and he's still let go. He's still fired. Gene Chizik fired almost a year after he just won a national championship. So I think Brian Harsin was like, listen, I think this shows that he didn't have 100% confidence in Bo Nix. I think he saw a need in the QB room after Shil Garrett was on his way out. They didn't really have any depth behind Bo Nix. So either way it shakes out, they added depth to the QB room, and they probably have someone where that gives them an option where if they don't feel comfortable with Bo Nix moving forward, they can slide TJ Finley into that role. And we've honestly probably could see a huge quarterback battle raging on the Plains this year. So, guys, comment below. Let me know what y'all think about this transfer. We will update it as soon as news breaks, anything more about this transfer. So, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. As always, this is the Blue Bloods. We're going to be trying to do more of these breaking news episodes, staying on top of stuff. Make sure to go check out our Akil Glass interview that we did last week. And, of course, Monday through Friday, the 2-minute drill posted every single morning. Pac-12 in 31 days, continuing on. Tyson Alger is out today from Oregon, so make sure to check out that episode. We've hit 200. We're announcing the 5 subscribers that won the giveaway tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe now to insert yourself in the next giveaway for 300 subscribers. We're on that road to 1K, baby. We appreciate all y'all's support. But for myself, the Blue Bloods, the 2-minute drill, everything, man, I'm out right now.